Hello and welcome to my channel. Here is where we explore the intersection of science, business, policy, and consulting. My name is Hamid, and I'm here to show you how you can use your scientific skills and expertise in this field. So whether you want to pursue career in academia or combine it with your research, so this channel will help you discover these new possibilities and opportunities. The reality staring us in the face as PhD or postdoc is that you eventually finish this PhD and you'll be wondering what to do next, or you eventually as well finish your postdoc, and getting the grant to start your own lab can be quite challenging. But if you have additional skills and are able to see opportunities beyond your lab, you will have more options and you will become what I call a PhD pro or a scientist pro. So in this video, we'll quickly go through these terms, business, policy, and consulting in the context of science. So stay tuned and subscribe. So let's take a quick look at policy and how it relates to science. So policy can be viewed as a roadmap or a plan or set of directions to guide actions of an institution or government on issues or activities affecting the public or stakeholders. So you can have policy like written policy, admission policy, environmental policy, or foreign policy. That's for government. So that's policy. It's a set of direction or plan to guide actions of an institution across range of activity affecting their stakeholder, or plan or direction to guide actions of government across range of issues or activities affecting the public. And these issues could range from big issues like COVID-19 or climate change to buying and selling related activities. So the actions that government take, the plan of that, the guidance, what led to that decision of government, that's where policy lies. So when we talk about science policy it has to do with the scientists providing evidence to lawmakers, evidence and advice to policymakers to inform evidence-based decision on wide range of issues, but basically issues affecting science and conduct of science, and issues from ranging from climate change to global issues. So it also encompasses issues like funding for science, government allocation of funding for science, and some emerging science like AI, science and technology, AI, and the like. So science policy is a two-way process. So you can be concerned with government policy that affect science itself, like funding why some researches are going to be funded, or why some particular area have more funding allocation from the government. So all of these fall within policy. I mean, policy for science, government policy that regulate the conduct of science or that affect science practice, funding to conduct to training, etc. So you can also be concerned with how government can use scientific evidences to influence their policy. That is, you are presenting scientific evidences to government to influence whatever policy the government is making, and that the policy will affect science or affect the world at large. So this is science, and you also working to protect the interest of science by communicating the interest of scientists or communicating science to the government, because the government or the lawmaker do not have the technical knowledge or the deep knowledge that scientists have. So that is how science policy interact. So let's move on to business. And business generally mean the commercial activities conducted by individuals or organization. And commercial activity involves production, selling, and distribution of goods and services, such as production of antibodies, selling and distribution of antibody, or services such as publishing. So yeah, that is business. Well, in the context of science, business is understood to mean using scientific knowledge and method to create products and services that benefit society, and that involve commercialization of research findings, developing product based on scientific discoveries, and managing resources for scientific goal. However, not all scientific research can lead to commercialization, because sometimes either the research is just too basic, or too risky, or too costly to be translated into the market. For example, going to the space exploration, it's science, it's science, and it could be too costly to lead to something. It maybe in the long run it will lead to commercialization, but not always immediately. So what is important for all scientists is identifying opportunities and needs. The ability to see what is lacking or what is inadequate but needed for the progress of science and scientists. For example, there is this company called BioCompare, which is a database that helps you find product used for research, such as antibodies, reagents, or even scientific equipment. So what it does is the website will help you to compare different products from different companies. You compare the price, you compare for example, if it's antibody, the reactivity, you see the references, all of that, and you decide where to buy or which to buy. That's a business, that's a service. So these are the things we really need: the idea, the business thinking. So business could involve production of goods, like production of antibodies or enzyme. It could also involve sale and distribution of these goods, or it could also mean rendering of services such as gene sequencing, data analysis, etc. So these are some of the ways. These are some of the business that are related to science. So let's quickly look at two terms that are related to business, and that is company and industry. So a company is a legal entity that is established to conduct a business. So we know what business activity is, what business is, production, selling, and distribution of goods or services. So when you have your business registered with relevant authority, and you have directors are appointed, you have your shareholders, it becomes a company, and it operates under a specific name. So we have, for example, here Santa Cruz Biotechnology, which is a company involved in a particular business. What business? It's involved in the production of and distribution of antibodies and rendering of services like gene editing and etc. Name it. So another company like Eurofin is involved in the business of gene sequencing. It offers gene sequencing services. So now we know business activity, company. Yeah. So when we now have groups of companies that are related by their primary businesses, because a company can have their primary businesses and have some other business. So but when groups of companies are related based on their primary businesses, meaning they offer similar products or services, they have that in common, so they together form an industry. In other words, an industry is a collective term for a group of companies. For example, the life science or biotechnology research industry consists of companies like we have the Santa Cruz, New England Biolab, Thermo Fisher Scientific, Cell Signaling Technology, Eurofin, Merck, etc., etc. Why? Because they have something in common. They have something in common. They all produce molecular biology or biotechnology related product. They distribute them. They offer the services. That is it. Now, we've seen that there is now something called the life science business. The science business, this business of science. And this is not any kind of business. This is a business that is supporting science, a business specific to scientific research or anything related to science, health, or medical, etc. So this is an industry, and you will see the business too. So because this exists, they will face some challenges at some point. They will need to take some critical decision requiring the expertise of someone who understands science and have business exposure. I said exposure. Someone who understands science and business exposure, and understand the market, understand the need of the market, the life science industry or the biotechnology industry. Yeah, this is where consulting comes in. And not just any kind of consulting. This is life science consulting. So let's quickly talk about that. Consulting is providing expert advice and guidance to clients. It's simply helping businesses to figure out their problem and helping them find solutions to those problems so that they can work more effectively, or so that you can help them solve whatever problem they are facing. So consultants are like doctors. I mean, medical doctors of business. They are doctors of business because they diagnose the problem, they diagnose the business to find problem and provide expert advice and recommendation. So as a life science consulting, in life science consulting, it involves solving problem for specific industry. This industry is the life science, biotech, and biopharma industry. That is what you do, and we know the companies in that industry. The companies that produce life science research, biotechnology or science related product, or distribute the product, or render the services. So that is it. So as a life science consultant, you life science consultant will use your knowledge of science and your understanding of the life science industry, the market. You understand the stakeholder, the business model, etc. You use all of this to advise the companies on product, device, and many things that is related to their industry. So as a life science consultant, you will need to be up to date with the latest research, latest finding in science, and you also need to understand science, have a good background of business. So this is really, really very important. So this is just a snapshot of what consulting is like. You help them define the problem, you collect facts, identify the best practices, then you follow up. All of this. These are the kind of the cycle of what consultants do, and it's really a lot of problem solving skills, teamwork, etc. So here is a kind of a example of what you can face as a consultant. So let's say HiBio is a small US-based company that develops kinase inhibitor, and it has only one product in the market, which is sold mainly in the United States with few sales in the UK. So HiBio wants to expand its presence in Europe, specifically in Belgium, Portugal, and Spain. It needs to decide which country to target and what the reasons are for choosing the country. This is the problem the company is facing. You as a consultant, you help them to you diagnose the problem, then you collect your facts, you give recommendation, you start by asking a lot of questions. Oh, what kinase inhibitor do you sell? What are the things? Is there a market for this inhibitor in this particular place, like that? So this is life science consulting. And yeah, I so much love this profile. Here is a perfect example of a scientist who has combined science, business, and consulting. Oh, this is just wow. So Dr. Petra is the current global lead of Accenture Life Science Business. Perhaps many do not know that the company Accenture has a life science section. So this is the lead of that section, Dr. Petra. So she has an MSc in molecular genetics and a PhD in immunology. Did a postdoc before joining consulting, and she's been a consultant. Look at how she describes herself as a scientist, and that she describes as a future for strategist, a trusted advisor that's consulting, like that. So it's really something cool. These are some of the examples of the options you can have outside of the lab. So to get these positions, you need to have interest in business. You need to have understanding of at least some understanding of business, so you know what the life science industry looks like, what the trends are. You need to know what strategy means, business strategy means, the business model, and stuff like that. So these are the things we'll be covering too, hopefully. So let's talk about current opportunities. There are several openings at KX Advisors. KX Advisors is a US-based consulting firm that operates within the life science, biotechnology, and biopharma sector, and they have a branch in London as well. So they have opening. The work with KX Advisor is hybrid, so you can work from home and you can be on site. So yeah, go to their website and explore this opportunity. Just type KX Advisor or search for these positions online. Consultant, senior consultant, life science. This is specifically for people with PhD or postdoc. Associate consultant, as for if you have an MSc, so like that. So, and what's good about this company is that even if you do not have a business background, you don't really have good understanding of business, they are ready to train you on the job. But of course, you have to show that you understand some bit about life science business or life science consulting. So, and that's why I'm making this video. I'm talking about this stuff so you are familiar with. Oh, okay, can you tell me about what's the market? For example, I talked about kinase inhibitor. Do you know that there is kinase inhibitor has a market itself? Like if you check, I forgot the name of this website, they will tell you how much this kinase inhibitor market was. Like, oh, this is the amount of kinase inhibitor that has been sold over the years, or in 2024 or in last year. So kinase inhibitor that was sold is up to this. These are the best buyer. These are the country that purchase it the most, bestseller. Things like these are the things that you would get familiar with when you start learning about business consulting and policy, etc. So let's move on. So this opportunity at the World Health Organization is an internship, 3-month internship, and it's more related to science policy. So check it out before it closes. It closes in the 11th of March, and the Merck in-house consulting application is still on. As well, we have the GSK postgraduate opportunity. Just go to GSK website and go to the career section. You see the postgraduate opportunities for PhD, postdoc. So you can join those companies as either associate consultant or maybe in policy capacity or in R&D capacity. We'll still be talking about the intersection of science, business, policy, and consulting, and we'll be sharing the opportunities, sharing knowledge, and getting ourselves acquainted with this industry or this field, and presenting opportunities for us to explore. I wish you the best and see you again in my next video. Do subscribe if you haven't. Thank you.